That's right. That's right. It'll be a fine day for us when the office hours is back after a week hiatus. Some of us were on vacation. Some of us were taking our sons to get their driver's license, and some of us were just holding down the fort. But we've got to bring the crew back together. And on the left-hand side of your screen, from Glenwood Springs, Colorado, in the Pay Protect Colorado office, where it's always a little bit higher than the rest of us, Miss Jenny Rickle. Jenny, how are you? How is it when you are, 5,000 feet above where I am standing right now?
It's cold. I know I say this like every single time, but it's just where I'm in a never-ending winter in Colorado. It snowed yesterday. I might
Yeah.
see some sunshine today, maybe, possibly. But yeah, up in the mountains, it is just cold and snow pretty much every day. So,
Well, we had the heat come in. It was 77 degrees. And I think it's nice today. I can see the sun, but it's a little cooler today. But hey, I'll take it over the yesterday morning
Yep.
because I don't pay attention to the weather. I was surprised by a severe thunderstorm that rolled through Indianapolis around 6:30 in the morning, and the patio furniture that I had just set out the night before was trying to blow away to the neighbors, but I caught it, so no worries about that. 2 hours north of me, Mr. Mike Stetzel. Mike, how are you, sir? And are you ready for all the excitement that April brings, including underwriting changes?
Am I excited for the changes? I am. I am really excited about the underwriting changes. A lot of this just went live, fully live yesterday and today with the appropriate labeling. But I always excited about spring. And like you said, we had a great day yesterday. Today's a little chillier, but it's doing nothing but improving. So just keep our fingers crossed. And I'm sorry, Jenny, you guys have had a miserable winter. I was blown away previous years how nice it was. You get that snow and it'd melt the next day, even in the middle of winter. And I
hmm
thought, what a great place to be. Not this year. Sounds like a beating.
we need it though. Like, there's no fire. Like sometimes we get fire bans and stuff, so it's so nice to
Yeah.
have all the snow. Just, I'm ready for some spring now. Anytime, any day now. I'm ready for it.
Well, I think it's coming soon. And when new underwriting changes come in, of course, that means the spring. And these
Yes.
are underwriting changes that I think, one, please, 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 you hear us say sometimes, pay attention to it. It is for your good. But if you're not paying attention, there may see some frustrations if you're not paying attention to how some of the changes are. And we're going to first thing, to find this, we're going to use a slide deck that you can go to mypapertech.com right now and download, and we're going to walk through it. But the premise of this to begin with, let me bring up the slides over here and bring up the first slide. But basically, the conditional approval is that we're going to try to, and hopefully it'll free up and should free up our underwriters to respond. I'm going to come to you, Mike. I know you've been dabbling into this. Can you give us a basic overview of these 30% more that are getting conditionally approved? What does this look like so far for most of our partners?
We are seeing accounts be approved now immediately, even though we need to submit a check to verify the bank account, even though we may need a correct email address still. Now, don't get me wrong, we're not doing crazy things and just approving this and sending people on their way. We are approving them with 100% funds being held. But think about this. That means today your deal's approved. It would have been pended for a voided check today. Instead, the merchant's going to get that documentation to us, and you'll have it turned back into underwriting, best case scenario, the same day the merchant receives their terminal. So the beauty of it is we're getting that shipped out today instead of waiting until we have that one or two small pieces of documentation. We're not going crazy. We're not approving accounts that require extra due diligence or anything like that. But that's why the number is 30%. If you look, as we look in our portal today with our master list of merchants, it's real. You can see there's about 30% of them that have been approved conditionally. So they're working on this. We just need your help to read those conditional approvals when you receive them. Make sure you do them so your merchant doesn't get their funding stopped.
And the basic update here is that what we're looking for is your merchant's application is conditionally approved. You and your merchants will receive an email outlining the conditions for their approval. And I think that's the place to first look. But you can also be managing your payments hub. And some people probably woke up this morning, jumped in their payments hub, and realized there's new colors that are appearing. Jenny, I'm assuming you've looked at this. I was trying to figure out how we could do a live demo, but then I would show information that we don't want on YouTube. So we'll have a couple screenshots that kind of show it here in a second. But what are the things they're seeing right on Payments Hub that they can see? They can see the email, and find that text, but they can go right to Payments Hub and see which ones are already doing. What are the things you're seeing and teaching people already?
Yeah, so I think that the quickest way is going to be, hi, Mike.
Oh, sorry. That's
sorry, that over.
Jenny's voice. Mike, if you could lip sync for us, that would be great.
Actually, that would have been really neat. So I think the fastest way in order to identify what's pending, what's approved, and what's under the conditional approval is going to be to go into Payments Hub, go to the merchant section. Anything that's been recently submitted will be on your first view. Yellow is pending, so it's all color coded. Yellow is pending, green is approved, and then we have blue, which is going to be it's approved with something conditional. Now, you can find additional notes also within Payments Hub. Like Nate said, you're going to receive an email. Yep, there you go, right? So right away, I can see, okay, approved. Oh, something's going on there. So I can, in Payments Hub, select on this account. There's an option on the left for workflows. It'll give me the notes from the underwriting team, and you will also receive an email as well that gives the details of what is needed. Typically, it's like Mike was stating, it's like an email address, maybe a bank verification. So the account's approved, right? We're going through the process of downloading equipment. We're going to ship it out. Just know that whole process is going, but the merchant is not going to receive any funding until the specific steps are taken that the underwriting team has requested.
And Mike, we've made another change to the funding holds. And as the slide says here, at your request, I don't know if this was personally your request, Mike Stetzel, but our partners, we've also enhanced the holds tab, now showing those conditional approvals as well as high ticket. And that's not just for approvals, but those situations where I heard one yesterday, and this was a first for us. Somebody had a high ticket approval of $125,000. They ran a $450,000 transaction. Yes, that happens in our world. I didn't know that, but somebody ran. I was like, good for them being able to get that approved for getting that auth and capture to work. That works well. But of course, we were asking for a little more additional information because it was a $450,000 ticket. And hey, oh, by the way, you can find that over at Payments Hub, right, Mike?
That is correct. So when you click on your Merchants tab and you go to Funding Holds, typically most of you are going to have very few, if any, accounts there because, these are typically placed there because someone's closed their bank account, different things like that. So now I'm reviewing one here and it shows underwriting volume control hold processed above current processing threshold set on the account. So remember, when you do an application, it says we are asking for a $20,000 monthly high limit. We also build in a 20% cushion. So in reality, you're going to have a $24,000 limit. This particular merchant has gone past that. And then you click on it. It says they've been put on a 100% hold for either exceeding their approved high ticket or average monthly volume. And the underwriting is going to reach out to them and get their checking account statements. So in here is much more necessary information, and it's definitely something you can help them with. So that's worth browsing periodically.
At the end of the day, we're trying to put you in control of your payments and your merchants' payments, making sure you have information very quickly, whether you want to go to your email and read through your emails or just simply log in several times a day or once a day, depending how, some of you, those who are doing multiple deals a day to those who are doing a deal a week, it's going to change how much you need to monitor this. But as you're jumping in there, it's going to be very easy for you to quickly see that information. You're going to be able to go through the workflows. I didn't show this earlier, but you're going to be able to see that there was an auto-approved engine in the credit review. You're going to be able to see when the application, and you can watch what's actually happening as the underwriting walks through it. So you can respond and help your merchant respond and make sure you set expectations. Because when I worry, guys, is what happens on these conditional approvals is conditional approval. We ship out a Pay Anywhere smart terminal. They get up and process the first $600, and suddenly they're thinking the next morning, because if the partner isn't helping the merchant pay attention to what's being told them, and they are being told, but if they're not paying attention to it, they're going to have a frustration moment, I would think. And this is where our partners need to drive it, correct?
Yep, 100%. Like
Yeah.
set that expectation, right? Like we're going to go ahead and improve these accounts really quickly, which is really a plus, right? Like send an application to us and we're going to get you a terminal within 2 days usually if we can get everything like correct and ready to go. But also set that expectation. You might need some additional information later down the road. Pay attention to your emails, make sure you stay on top of it because it is a cool process, right? We're going to get accounts approved, equipment if you want to expedite it overnight, like that's an awesome thing. Sign somebody up and get them equipment the next day if you want to for a little bit extra cost for the shipping. So just pay attention, set that expectation, know that we have this workflow coming in, but it really is to help and have an additional tool in your resources to help say, hey, this is why you should come with me. I have a really quick approval time.
Yeah. And I would also highlight, you can download the slide deck in My PayProTech, but then here, the slide deck, you can also see on My PayProTech. I'm going to open it up here. You can click on the conditional approval program exceptions and requests for additional info. It's just a quick one page just to remind you what they're asking for, who you need to email, what phone number you may have. And it's a quick reference guide. And my word, people, I know in the world, depending how you do it. For me, this is how I would do it. In fact, I've saved this PDF into my phone, into the files section. I'm an iPhone user, and I would make it so I could get to it really quickly. If you're a paper type person, print this puppy out. Then maybe put it right there so you can see these things. Manage and expectations, work your merchants and help them get up and processing. We're approving it faster so that your merchants can start the process of getting that machine and being able to get up and running, because we don't make money unless you make money, and you don't make money unless your merchant gets processing. So let's get that all working, but also let's make sure, let's follow through. And suddenly these extra 30% that have a little bit of extra work to do ahead before, but they already have a piece of hardware, let's get it rolling here. So anything you want to add? Because the last slide in our presentation is this. And there are a few people watching live, so we would take your question live. But if they have questions about what's going on, they can obviously email partners@payprotech.com. But what would you suggest, Mike? Would you suggest if people have, like, let's say they are one of our offices, they're doing a lot of deals and they're doing 15 and they're getting a little bit confused, would you suggest emailing the relationship manager or emailing you or Jenny and getting a special training on this?
Absolutely. And that was part of what I was going to say. So absolutely, let's break this down into step-by-step process. We're happy to do that with you. And then also at the same time, I wanted to mention the reference that we have. Hit us up and we'll get you the underwriting and risk contact information. They both have a live phone number, typically answered by a live body. And I use it. Typically, I'll still use the email, but once in a while, I want that phone number so I can call and explain a confusing situation to them. Especially if you're a person who's dealing with 15 at a time, there may be one or two there that, you know what, I could put this in an email, but it's going to take me 20 minutes. Why don't I call and explain this to somebody on the phone? And I have found it works wonders in clearing the air instead of 3 or 4 emails back and forth. So if we don't have that in mypayprotect.com under partner resources, we will add it. And otherwise, email partners@payprotect.com and request it, or any of us.
All right. Any closing words? Underwriting changes, 30% more approvals, a little bit more, not really no more work. It's just a different workflow to make sure that you are on top of it. Anything we've missed that we should be talking about?
I think we've covered it.
All right. Go ahead,
One
Mike.
real quick thing, and I just asked this of our team the other day, or of Danny, I guess is who it really was. And I said, and I've learned now, listening to this conversation about underwriting over the last several months, that this is a very, very unique thing. This is not something that everybody has. We are in a unique position here, folks. So let's take advantage of it. Let's help this system get great, and let's take advantage of it, because like I said, other companies don't have this, and
Yep.
we're proud to. for sure.
And we're here to walk you through it. It's not sometimes change is not always easy, but it's necessary, and this will help you out. You will be better off as a sales partner of PaperTech, as a professional payments partner and sales partner. You're going to be better off because of this, but let's make sure you are set up to succeed. So if you have questions, reach out to partners at PaperTech, reach out and get trained, reach out to your relationship manager, however you want to do that. And we're here to help any way we can. On behalf of Jenny Rickle, Mike Stetzel, I'm Nate Manahan. This has been another episode of Office Hours. We'll see you, I think, next week for another episode. I don't know. Yes. It may not be as sexy as underwriting, but it may be. Who knows? We don't know what we're talking about. And it may be some more updates on this because it's going to continue evolving based on your input. Thanks so much, everybody. And everyone have a great one.